Hello, welcome back to another video, and yeah, I saw the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and I wanted to let's talk about it quick. I'm just gonna dive in and say that I actually did like it. So first, just some context in case you're wondering about like the first film. I actually do really like the first movie. It's one of those movies that, no, it's not the greatest movie ever made. There's definitely things that could be improved upon, but I still had so much fun and loved that movie, and just really enjoyed it. It was really fun, and I kind of have similar experience with the second one. So diving fully into Super Mario Galaxy movie, I enjoyed it. I had a great time seeing this in a theater, and also with sadly I didn't have like a huge crowd, but there was actually more people in there than normal for the theater that I ended up going to. So a decent amount of people, both adults and kids. And it was just a great time. It was fun to see these characters on the big screen. It's adorable, whether you're talking about Yoshi or the Luna stars, or even Bowser Jr. It's adorable, and then it's just also a lot of fun with. And the animation is beautiful. There's like awesome uses of color. There's like so many shots in this film that look so good that I kind of would want them as a poster. That's how good some of the shots in this look. And there are a good amount of laughs in it too. That did hit for me and made me laugh. Now, not everything made me laugh, but enough made me laugh. So I was having a great time, and I had a smile on my face the entire way through. And if you are a Mario fan, you're also going to enjoy this, I think, because there are so many Easter eggs and references. Speaking of, one of my favorite things that they do, well, whether you're talking about story elements or locations that they go to, or characters that appear, and also the music. I think the music is great in both these movies. I think they do such a great job at turning the video game music and making it cinematic and also nostalgic. The use of the original music in this movie, just like the first, is great, and it's awesome. So there's just so much fun to be had in this movie, and it is a movie too that I think if you take kids to go see it, I think they're gonna have a great time. Also, the kids in the theater that I was in enjoyed it, and so did, by the sounds of it, the adults who were in that theater too. And I mean, I could tell that they were Mario fans because just how they had like Mario shirts on. The one guy in there had a Waluigi hat, believe it or not. So yeah, it's a great time, but I know this is a movie that seems to have like mixed reviews from what I've seen, and part of that is because, yeah, it's not the best movie you're gonna see this year, and that really has to do with like the story and the characters. The character arcs, I should be more specific. Like first of all, there is a lot going on in this story, possibly too much, and a lot of it feels like they're just doing it to put in stuff from the video games into the movie. And I do kind of wish they dove into certain aspects of the story more. Like, for example, Rosalina is in this. There's a story there that has an emotional core to it that I think could have been explored much more than it was. They only scratched the surface of it in this movie, and I kind of wish they dove into it more than they did. And even going back to like Mario and Luigi and their brotherhood, which they did a great job at diving into in the first film, I wish they explored it even more in this one, but they didn't. And there's also a bunch of things that I feel like they just like touched the surface of, and I wish we dove more into it, whether in this movie or even just saving it for the next movie. Because like there's a thing with Luigi in it about him trying to face his fears, not be as scared as he was in the first film. They touch the surface of it, but they never really do anything with it. There's some setup in the beginning with Mario and Peach. If you know the video game lore, obviously you probably have an idea of what. I mean, there's not much to spoil, I don't think. But I won't say too much more just in case if you don't know. But if you know the games, you know. But there's like setup there, and it's never paid off in the end, which I wish they would have. I wish they again dove more into that and gave us a payoff by the end. Yoshi does, and like the character arcs in general don't really change. Like, I don't think anybody is really fully changed by the end of this movie. The one who has the most character arc is probably Bowser and Bowser Jr., and even then they don't change too much. I mean, I guess you could argue that they do change, but there could have been much more of a character arc for both of those characters, and there's not much there. So like, if you go to see this, you're not going to get like amazing character arcs. You're not going to get like the most in depth story. I don't know if that's the right wording, but you know what I'm trying to say. And yeah, there are certain things that are kind of disappointing because I wanted them to go more into, like with Rosalina, like with Mario and Luigi, and with Mario and Peach. And I think there was so much more they could have explored, but they didn't. And part of it, I think, is because they're like, well, we want to throw this in there, and this in there, and this in there, and this in there. Like, there's so much going on in this movie that I think they could have maybe saved some of it. Like this is kind of like, it's like there's a lot of Super Mario Odyssey in this movie too. And I honestly think they probably could have even had that be its own movie. I mean, they still might use the title, the Super Mario Odyssey movie. But still, and even then, I feel like, now, I haven't played the actual specific Super Mario Galaxy game, but I have seen different videos and stuff. I feel like we didn't get too much Galaxy in this Mario Galaxy movie. Maybe that's just me, though. Maybe that could just be me being a little picky, especially because there's already a whole lot going on in this movie. So we didn't really need more Galaxy on top of everything we already have, but maybe like just balancing certain things out. And I feel like something that could be both a negative or positive depending on who you are is that it is a very fast-paced movie, which, again, maybe too quick because it moves through a lot of stuff, but on the bright side, it does feel a little rushed, but it's not dragged out, which I guess could kind of be a positive, because I feel like that could be a big problem with the movie if it did feel dragged out instead. But yeah, so like at the end of the day, yes, there are more things that I wish they explored more, but I still had such a fun time with the movie. I still will probably see it again eventually. I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters again. I might, maybe, I don't know, but it's a movie that I'll probably rewatch again, because I had a smile on my face the entire movie. It's just because it's so fun. All right, now, should you see this movie in theaters? This depends. So, on two things. One, are you a super big Mario fan, or even Nintendo fan, really, in general? And did you like, or even love, the first Mario movie? Because if you are a huge Mario fan, or you really like the first movie, then I think, yes, you should go see this in theaters. However, if you are not really a Mario fan, but you just kind of maybe saw the trailers and were interested, or maybe you're just curious about it, or if you're then maybe wait for streaming. But if you full on did not like the first Mario movie, or even hated the first Mario movie, this might be a skip, just because this one won't win you over, because it has even more. It's probably not as good as the first one. I think they're pretty even, but the first, I think, is still slightly a bit better. So yeah, if you huge Mario fan, see in theaters. Love the first Mario movie, see in theaters. Not a huge Mario fan, but kind of interested. Wait for streaming. Hated the first movie. You can skip it. So yeah. And I also feel like if you're curious, I feel like if depending on how big a Mario fan you are, yes, you will get more out of it. But I still think you can still enjoy it and have fun, even if you're not a big Mario fan. I like to consider myself a Mario fan. However, there are much bigger fans than me. I'm much more of a Marvel DC person. That's my thing. But so there's a lot of references in the movie that I got, but there's even references in the movie that went over my head, and I had to do some Googling and some YouTube breakdowns to figure out what they were. So but I still had a great time, even with that, what my knowledge is. So I think you still might enjoy it, as long as you just want a good time, and if you like the first one. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you like it, please hit like it. See more. I have a whole bunch of reviews you can check out. Thanks for watching. Bye.